Who have you got today?
Today we're very fortunate to be joined by Brett and Darren Patton. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nisha. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Absolute pleasure. Now, both Brett and Darren have a long history in professional tennis. They're here today to talk to us about a brand new show. I believe it kicked off last year. But it's called Court Talk. But before we get into that, I'd like to give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves. So, Brett, tell me a bit about yourself.
I was going to cut to the older brother. He likes to have his say first, but I'll kick it off. Thanks, Nisha. Yeah, look, Brett Patton, obviously, we've got a show called Court Talk on 91.3 SportFM. We've had it for about 2 years now. And the premise is really around local tennis, local community tennis, really exposing a lot of the local players and interviewing a lot of the international stars and past, present players and officials and everyone who's engaged in tennis at a local level and a national and the international level. So that's the premise, really give some exposure to the game of tennis in WA. Lovely.
And you obviously have the long history in tennis. Tell us about yourself, because that would bring to the content of the show.
I thought you'd never ask, Nisha. Yeah. Look, my involvement in tennis has been, long. I mean, I'm the Australian over 40s champion. You wouldn't believe by looking at me. You're still at 21, I know. But heading off to San Diego actually next week for the World Championships, which is played once a year, and this year it's in the US in San Diego. So very much looking forward to that. Like I said, very much heavily involved in the seniors tour right now. Still played local club tennis. We have a Brickmakers State League, which I'm involved in. Play for a club Cottesloe. So if anyone wants to come down and play at Cottesloe, great, terrific venue.
Beautiful location.
So still playing the tournaments, and like I said, Darren and I have been involved with tennis, since we've been, 5 or 6 years of age. We grew up in Geraldton, came down to the Big Smoke here to go to boarding school at Christchurch, and here we've stayed. And Darren's obviously he'll talk a little bit about himself, but which he loves doing, coincidentally. So
we all do a bit.
He does. Darren was a professional tennis player back in the late 80s and early 90s. So without much ado, Big D, take it away.
Thanks, Nisha. Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, well said, Brett. Yeah, didn't miss a beat there. But yeah, no, as Brett alluded to, Nisha, we're country boys and brought up in Geraldton, and gone through the junior ranks and the senior ranks of West Australian tennis, and had the opportunity to travel internationally and see the world and be on the ATP tour for some 12 years. So yeah, we're just basically putting back into grassroots of West Australian tennis and national tennis and international tennis, and just keeping everyone abreast of what we're doing with Court Talk. And yeah, our journeys are, something a little bit different, and we're just trying to keep everyone involved in Western Australia about tennis and the goings-on, and especially country tennis, local tennis, and just trying to promote the clubs and the personnel and the history and that type of thing, and giving a few interviews with a few of the local notables, basically.
Wonderful, because when we were speaking a little bit earlier, you mentioned there aren't really too many shows, or particularly perhaps no shows before this, in Western Australia that targeted tennis. And given we've had the Hopman Cup, we've got a lot of pretty large-scale events that Australians do very well in. I hope you continue to do your show, because I know that you both coach as well. So you're probably looking at it, well, you did coach, you're looking at it from a coaching angle, as well as having been professional players yourself. So what would you hope that the audience would get from your show? You have an hour show every week.
We do.
What do you hope they take away from it?
Well, I think we give a bit of everything to everybody, and whether it be results for the juniors and potential of the juniors who are playing away from Western Australia, and keeping people up to date on what they're doing, and also local results and local coaches, programs that they might be having at their clubs, any events that the clubs are having. And like I said, we have the interviews. We had John Fitzgerald on and John Newcombe on not that long ago, and my father and I and Brett had the opportunity to meet with John and play a World Father and Son Championship with him over in Spain and Switzerland years ago now. But but he was really forthcoming and wanted to talk to about those days and what's going on in today's tennis now. And we give the vets their plug, and we give the juniors a plug, and everyone. So everyone listens in to hopefully hear their name. So
yeah, wonderful.
It's just a good opportunity to put back to tennis.
Absolutely, and promoting, and like Darren said, Darren did win a father and son world championship with the Newcombes back in the late 80s, 88, 89, so he's being a little bit modest in that.
Keep saying the dates.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
He's a little bit older than me, but Darren's right. Look, on SportFM 91.3, we have an 8 o'clock segment, runs for an hour.
Yes, now that's on a Sunday, Sunday 8 to 9 a.m, and Monday 12 to 1 is the replay.
Absolutely, nice plug. So yeah, it really is around building that community of tennis, and tennis is going through, it's starting to resurge again in Australia. There was a little bit of a lull there. We weren't seeing a lot of the top order Australian men players in particular coming through. Obviously, we've got some great talent in Sammy Stosur. We got Casey Delacqua, who's a good WA girl, on the rise again. But But the WA scene, we've got Maddie Ebden, Bryden Klein, who's a former Australian Open junior winner. So we really have nurtured a lot of good juniors coming through. And we just want to promote the game from a local level. And like I said, we're getting some really good following now. And you can actually follow us on facebook.com/Court Talk as well. And we have our website, www.courttalk.com.au. So there's plenty going on in the world of tennis, and we just like to promote it.
What a great opportunity, and thank you for joining us on the show. You can also stream live off the website that was just provided, but if you go to thecouch.com.au, you'll be able to find more information about the guys. Thank you so much once again. I'm sure that the young aspiring tennis players, as well as the guys, the vets as you call them, who've been involved for a long time, will enjoy your show.
Absolutely.
Any other closing comments, guys, before we head back to Fred?
Oh, look, we like to encourage everyone to get out there and play tennis, enjoy tennis, and it's really around about building that community. And it's a wonderful game from all ages. You know, juniors compete against the adult counterparts and compete against the seniors. So it's a really good nurturing base for a lot of juniors to interact from a development perspective with their elders.
Developmental psychology.
Absolutely.
Too.
Yeah. And it's a great family sport. Yeah. Everyone can play it. It's not a selfish sport. You can take your children. You know, you can be all day there with your wife and your husband, and rather than golf, which is a favourite of mine, but it is very selfish.
Golf is a boys' thing you do on the weekend.
But no, it's a fabulous sport, and we've grown up with it, and happy to be giving back to the world of tennis.
We love the show. You know, we watch the show. It's the first time on the couch, so keep up the good work, Nisha.
Oh, thank you very much, and we'll have you on the show again, I'm sure, just to see how you're tracking along with your show.
Looking forward to it.
Good pleasure.
Thanks, Nisha.
Thank you.